I have a confession to make. Having been asked to choose between being a night owl, that who prefers staying up late at night or even to the early hours of the morning, or an early bird, typically that who rises before the rooster himself. Well, I am both. Weird, isn't it? Well, this is my story. Ever since I was a kid, I had a great life, a loving family, faithful friends, and pretty decent grades. Every day was a repetition of the same single cycle. Wake up at 6 a.m., go to school, get back from school, eat, study, and sleep at maximum 10 p.m. And so, the cycle would repeat itself. But as time went by, I started having a slight change of routine. While I still maintained the same cycle, except sleep, vanished. I would get back from school and study, and study, and study, and study until it was back to 6 a.m. I would work all day and night with studies, responsibilities, tasks that weren't even required, believing I can do it all, because that's what made me feel accomplished, fulfilled, useful in life. At first, I was proud. I was proud of how hard I worked and all the straight A's that I got. I was getting so much praise, so much appreciation. I was being looked at, and everyone had their high hopes in me. My friends, my teachers, my family, and most importantly, myself, which gave me the more reason to keep on going. And thus, studying became my life, and coffee, my medicine. And I became what we all call a maniacal workaholic. But the day did come where migraines knocked on my door. Knock, knock, knock. And I started feeling dizzy, losing focus, having mood swings, blurry visions, muddled thoughts, aching joints. I would start losing awareness of myself. Hallucinations would come and go. Voices, many of them would start screaming, "This is right!" So I continued studying because that's what made me feel accomplished. And I thought that it deserved the pain, that I deserved the pain. So I kept on going. But it's when I got weak in the knees and fainted that it hit me. What am I doing? What am I doing with myself, with my life? Wasting it for numbers written on a worthless piece of paper. It is with dismay that I say I'm not alone in this conflict. Nowadays, we live in a workaholic society, a society built upon the validation of scoring high, achieving a certain status, and working to be functional, efficient, and off-use, where we believe that our worth lies on how much work can be done in such and such time. And I'm not talking about the work assigned from a school, university, or workplace, but working harder and even beyond what our human potentials can sustain. Becoming addicted and thus trapped in the concept of doing more, where taking a break or time off becomes a crime, where the concept of work-life balance becomes a myth, where work disguises itself as means of escape from anxiety, stress, guilt, and our severely low self-esteem. Yet, without realizing it, it adds upon them even more. And society is no less to blame for it. In our modern days, one is valued, praised, deemed efficient, successful, and committed to the role based on how much work they bring to the table. This constant pressure of forever being on the grind is the main issue of this hustle society. And if we don't live up to the society's expectations, or even higher, we're frowned upon, shamed, and become what you and I all fear to be called: a disappointment. A disappointment to the society, a disappointment to those who surround us, and a disappointment to even ourselves. But looking back, I realized that my workaholism sprouted from the roots of perfectionism, a slowly spreading plague where everyone is on a quest of being the best. But I've come to a stage of acceptance, and so should you. Accepting the sole nature of what makes us humans, accepting our inabilities of tracing every detail of every task given, accepting breaks despite the unfinished work, despite the awaiting deadlines, despite the gazing eyes awaiting the flourishing of our achievements, accepting the flaws which define us and makes each and every one of us special and unique in our own beautiful ways. Let's praise ourselves. Let go of self-judgment. We were thrust down to earth to achieve more than just work. Thus, in retrospect, I've learned to care more, to help more, and to lead a life built upon supplying my unconditional love to my family, my friends, and all those who surround me. But most importantly, I've learned to enjoy my life and to live it to the most, because we only live once. So why the hurry to waste our lives away? Let's cherish it before it lasts. And every once in a while, let's all together learn to switch off. Thank you.